we have some important information to go over with you regarding BYOT, which is bring your own technology, bring your own device. This is a wonderful, exciting opportunity that we are moving towards. But before we embark on this opportunity, we need to discuss what that's going to look like. So this technology device that you bring to school, if you and your family so choose, is going to be an instructional tool. What sort of instructional tool do you currently use in your classes? What is something that perhaps you bring from home or something that you use in your classes as an instructional tool? Okay, yep, in your classrooms, there are computers. Sometimes you currently go to the lab, and the BYOT experience is going to open up that opportunity. Okay.
A piece of paper.
Okay, great. You bring some paper, your agenda.
Calculator.
Great, I'm glad you mentioned that. Yes, sometimes, ladies and gentlemen. In your math classes or science classes, sometimes you use a calculator and other times not. Correct? There are times that you use the calculator, times that you do not. So that is the same theory with our devices. There are times that you will use your device, and there are times that you will not. I will get to questions later. I've taught math in the past, and I required that my students use a pencil. Sometimes my students would not bring a pencil to class. So I did not want to keep them from the learning experience, so I would lend them a pencil for the class. That is also the same concept with our device. We will have devices for you to check out if it's part of the learning environment and you need them for that activity. So you're going to need to know how and when you will use your device. Can you skip one? This logo up on the board is our technology enhanced logo, our TEI logo. And that is how you will know if during that class, that activity is going to be technology enhanced. What does the logo look like to you? A plug. Sometimes I have also heard, okay, thank you for your response. Also, some people have said that it also seems like a smiley face. So that when we are,
upside down shower.
Ladies and gentlemen,
What do you say?
currently when you go into your classes, your teachers have their agenda listed on the board. So if there is an activity or a place on that agenda that is going to be technology enhanced, this will be a magnet that will be attached next to that activity so that you know that that activity is going to enable you to use your device. Currently, we have some programs and some apps that we are already using in our classes, and some of them at home. Some of you are already engaged in Google Classroom, some of your teachers have Vision, some of your teachers use Quizlet. So those are a few examples of programs that are currently in place. Here is some examples of some additional programs that may be on the horizon. And I do know that some teachers have already used Kahoot, and we will also have a summative assessment today that will Okay. Everything that we do in Trailside is framed around being respectful, responsible, and ready. That also ties into our BYOT program. We are going to make sure that we are respectful, responsible, and ready as we move into BYOT. You can show that you are respectful by using your own device. I understand that you are, sometimes a friend might not have a pencil and you might lend them a pencil. However, we are not going to share devices when we go to BYOT. We will have some, as I said, in the classroom for you to check out should you need one. You show that you are respectful by respecting the technology around you and seeking permission prior to recording or taking pictures. You need to receive permission from the student. If you are taking a picture of a student, you need to get that student's permission and your teacher's permission. Additionally, your teacher will have a form to fill out, for you to fill out, indicating that you are taking a picture or recording on the date and time and why. We need to make sure that we are publishing positive information and that we keep our devices on silent mode. That is how we demonstrate that we are respectful with our technology. We also are responsible with our technology by keeping our technology with us at all times. However, there are places that we will not be taking our technology. We will not take our technology with us to the restroom. So your teachers will have a parking lot, a safe space for you to put your device when you go to the restroom so that that does not go with you. Additionally, you show that you are responsible by being engaged in the lesson and use the technology for the use in which it is intended. And again, you are responsible by ensuring that all technology use is on task. Ready. You demonstrate that you are ready with your technology by coming with the appropriate technology for the lesson when your teacher indicates that that's going to be part of the lesson. Additionally, you bring your device fully charged. If you come to school and you only have 2% battery life, that's not going to get you very far. So you need to make sure that your device is charged and that you do bring a power cord. Technology on and ready. This is going to be the terminology that we use to indicate that we are engaging with our technology. Technology will be on and ready in a classroom when and where you see the TEI logo. Technology will be on and ready in the library when you seek permission. If you have a project or something that you're working on and you need to use your device, you go to the circulation desk and explain to the staff that you need to use your device and why, and then they will give you permission to use your device in the library. Den or resource is also a place that you may use your technology with permission. Backtracking to what I said, this device is an instructional tool. So if it is directly tied to your instruction, then you can use it. Going back to the example of the calculator, sometimes, let's say you were absent one day and you had a math assessment. If you were making that assessment up in resource and you were able to use the calculator, your math teacher would have either indicated on the math test or a note to your den teacher in some way saying that you could indeed use the calculator. If it was not noted, then you can't use the calculator on that assessment. It's the same concept with bring your own device and using your device in den or resource. If you have a project that requires that you use your device for that assignment, your classroom teacher will let your den teacher know. Now, mistakes happen. Sometimes Your classroom teacher may have thought that they communicated to your den teacher that you could use your device, but did not, and that can happen. But again, we are respectful, so if your den teacher tells you that you can't use your device and you believe that you can, you respectfully talk to your den teacher and say, I believe that with this project I was able to use my device. Can we check with my teacher? You can check with your classroom teacher at a later date, or your den teacher can, and then the next den or resource you can use it. But without your classroom teacher indicating that you can use a device with that activity, you're not going to be able to do so. And we really want to respect our den teachers and not get into an argument with them. Phones, if a phone is a device that you bring, for bring your own device, if it is not in use at that time, meaning that it's not the TEI part of the agenda, it is on your desk with the screen down, facing down. If you bring your iPad or laptop and it is not in use, it is not part of the TEI assignment on the agenda, it is inside your desk. Now, there are certain classes that do not have the desk to put it in, so your teachers will have that parking lot that I talked about before, a safe place to store it so it's off and away. Off and away. This is a term that you all have heard throughout the year, and there are areas in which it is off and away. I framed our discussion around this being an instructional tool. It is a learning tool. There are certain areas that instruction is not going on. We're not instructing in the hallways, so it's going to be off and away in the hallways. In the locker area, off and away. I've already addressed that the restrooms are off and away. And cafeteria, pack time, morning gathering areas, off and away. And I want to address the morning gathering areas. This has been the practice for quite some time. So as soon as you enter the building, the expectation is that it is off and put in your backpack, not in your pockets. It is off and put away. Offices, clinics, and classrooms with substitutes. Classrooms with substitutes will not be a BYOD classroom. Health room and PE. So we are not going to bring our devices to health or PE. So prior to your going to PE, before you go downstairs to PE, you need to make sure that you turn your device off and you secure it in your locker, upstairs in the house locker area. And I stress that you secure it because sometimes some of you like to not fully secure your locker to try and make it quicker or easier to open, but by doing that, it is not only easy for you to open, it is easy for somebody else. So you need to make sure that when you put your device in your locker is secure. You shut your locker door, you turn the combination knob, and you try it to make sure that it is locked. As I said, sometimes we make mistakes. Sometimes we forget our expectations. So we have supports in place for you. A level 1 is that your teacher will have a conversation with you, reminding you the expectations for our collaborative learning tool at school. A level 2 would be that your teacher is going to call home and explain the trailside expectations with BYOD and how you weren't quite meeting them and what we can do as a school to ensure that you meet them in the future. A level 3 is where you go to visit your grade level dean. Frequently asked questions. Can I listen to music? Well, I would not say no, absolutely not. because I said this is a learning tool. So there are environments in the school in which listening to music is directly tied to the instruction, right? So in your chorus class, your band class, your orchestra, absolutely, it would be appropriate and possible to have that as part of the assignment. I'll get to your questions later. Do I have to bring a device to school? Correct, you absolutely do not have to bring a device. As I said, we will have devices to check out for you to use during that class. Do you have to be on the school Wi-Fi? Yes. Yes, you do. When you are accessing information, you do need to be connected to the school Wi-Fi for a couple reasons. One, our Wi-Fi has filters and security that keeps you safe and your information safe. Additionally, we do not want this BYOT experience to impede on your family at all. And we don't want it to cost your family money by you using their data. And am I responsible for my device? Correct. You are responsible for your device. So you need to keep it with you. If there is a problem, if you're trying to do an activity and your device is not working, I would suggest that you put it in your locker and check out a device from the classroom that they have to support you. No staff member is going to touch your device and try to troubleshoot it or fix it for you. If you're having a problem with your device, you'll have to put it away and address that issue at home. Am I allowed to record or take pictures? Okay. There were a couple steps that you had to take to record or take a picture. What is one thing that you had to do to record or take a picture? Right, you had to ask the student whom you're recording or taking a picture of for permission. Perfect. Yes, you have to ask the teacher, and along with that, with asking the teacher, your teacher has a form to document when you were taking the picture or recording, why, and who was included. Social media, texting, playing games. This is an instructional tool, so the answer to those is no. And what happens if I don't follow instructions? If we don't meet our expectations the first time, what happens? What's a level 1?
Impact form.
Who's doing the reteaching? The teacher. Number 2, level 2, what happens? Level 3.
You get suspended.
What happens if your device is not working correctly?
Too bad for you.
Right, I would suggest that you put it away and you address that issue when you get home. We are not going to troubleshoot your device here. So, when you all came in, some of you were given what is known as a clicker response card. Looks like this. So, you are going to see questions on the screen. You will turn and talk to your partner. You are in groups of either 3 or 4. And you will agree on your response. The response is, this is a formative assessment to let us know if you are ready to move on to BYOT, or if we're not quite there yet, or perhaps maybe just a handful of you need some individual reteaching. So, please remember, that your responses are being logged, and we will be talking to you all about these. The way these work, I understand some classes have used them, some have not. If you look at your response card, there are letters on each side, A, B, C, and D. If the answer is A, you will find the side that has the letter A. Make sure that A is facing up and outward and hold your card up. Please do not shake your card. It will not be recorded if you're shaking it. And please do not bend it. We will not be able to record your response if it is bent. Okay, so our first question. The screen cracked on my device while I have it at school. Who is responsible? Gentlemen, you don't have a partner, so you shouldn't be talking. And your group members are close to you, so you don't need to be above a whisper. A is my teacher, B is my friend, C is my parent, and D is me. Mr. Yu is scanning your answers, and they are recorded.
Why are you not being recorded?
Guys, I'm coming around.
Can you press? Thank you. So the correct response is you. It is your device. It is your responsibility. As I have stated.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Excuse me.
Resource teachers, what we will do is we will give you all these assessments for the students to take individually, and we will go from there. So at this point in time, would Ms. Sterling's class please stand?